welcome to my video today. I'm doing that ship that got stuck on the Suez Canal earlier this week. It's been trending. It's not trending anymore because of course it got unstuck by the time I finished this video. But yeah, I had a lot of fun building this. I never use half of the stuff that I've put in here, so it's a little bit interesting, at least to me. But yeah, if you guys want to see any more of stuff like this, not necessarily ships, this is probably a once-in-a-lifetime type of build, but if you want to see anything, let me know down in the comments. Also let me know if you don't like this voiceover, because this is the first time I'm doing it, and yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, but yeah, give me some tips and feedback. Be nice about it, please. I don't know if I can handle harsh criticism just yet, at least. But yeah, as you can see up there, I am using that eco lifestyle wallpaper because it's technically paneling, to make those shipping containers at the top, and I add another layer up above that. I use a lot of eco lifestyle in this build, and cats and dogs, and possibly island living, I'm not entirely sure, and dining out. It's a lot, so I apologize if you do want to download this and you don't have all those packs. I don't think it'd be a very fun build to play in, just because there's not much you can do. It would be fun to renovate, but that's a whole other thing. So I do apologize for that. I wasn't really thinking about the download playability of this place. But yeah, if you do want to download it and you want to see if you have all the packs it took, it is on the gallery under my username, Nati_cookie without the E, which is right there on the screen or down in the description, you can see. But yeah, I basically had to use fences to put up there just so I can separate each container and paint them a bit more easy instead of going one by one. But I think it looks pretty cool. I do change the containers a bit more just because there is I wanted to put like a walkway around the ship just to make it a bit more realistic, so they do shift a bit. But yeah, that's comes a bit later. That thing in the front is supposed to be the mast. I deleted that one and tried to look for another debug object, so I figured that maybe with island living or cats and dogs or something there would be one, but there's not, spoiler alert. So I do end up using a different roof decor piece. Like, I think it's that one actually that I used at the end of the day. But yeah, here I am sinking everything into the sand, which I thought was a bit realistic. I add foundation a bit later just to do that tiny red strip. There I'm trying to find a paint or something that has a red strip at the bottom, and then I figured out I could do it with a foundation, so that comes a bit later. But yeah, the most annoying about this build wasn't the ship containers. That was pretty easy, but the most annoying part was the canal area. I had to basically place tiny triangles and drag it down on one of the sides because it just would not place against the ship. It comes in a little bit after I do this fencing, I think, because I kind of got frustrated with these containers, having to move them one by one. So yeah, I wanted to switch some gears. But yeah, I also a bit later, the control center, command center, I don't know what it's called, it does shift one floor down, and that becomes like a usable part of the living area, and that's like the walkway you see there that I'm trying to put, and I'm shifting everything over. But yeah, so this is the part where I start trying to build the pool, and here in the back it works perfectly fine. It didn't have any issues in the back, and then here in the front it just wouldn't place next to the ship, and I deal with like terrain tools a few times trying to figure out if I need to flatten it or whatever. I did end up flattening it, but it didn't really do much, I don't think. Maybe that's why it worked at the end of the day. But yeah, so there I'm just trying to expose the foundation. That's when I figured out, like, oh, maybe I can use the foundation as that like red bit that's in the bottom of the ship. Also, I do want to say I've actually never been on a ship except for when I was like 5. I went on a cruise, but I don't remember any of it. So the entire inside is what I imagine like ships look like after in like the movies. But I think it turns out pretty cool. There's like living quarters. There's like a mess hall. It's like simple, but I can't imagine there being that much inside of a ship. But yeah, this is where I place all those triangles, which looks really satisfying on video sped up, but was such a pain. And yeah, that looks really nice. Oh, and something I didn't catch on camera was the trim, the pool trim. I changed it at the end after I like finished recording and made it a bit blend into it just by changing the color to like a subtle cream one. But yeah, this is where I start looking for a mast again in the debug objects. At one point I find half of a ship, like a sunken ship from, I think it's Island Living, and I tried to just shove it inside the ship just to see if I could get the mast to stick out, and it doesn't work, just spoiler alert. But yeah, I think it's coming up in a little bit. I find some other ships. I also wanted to put them like behind the ship, but also this like just like rocks and everything, so it doesn't make any sense. I mean, this entire build doesn't make sense. There's just like a pool in the middle of nowhere with a ship in it. But yeah, I tried. But yeah, I also thought maybe I should put like an electricity pole or something, but nah, it didn't work out. And yeah, I'm struggling a bit with that part. I honestly probably just took too long with it, and I just settled. But yeah, I found a lot of cool things in the process. I found an anchor at one point with it's like a statue, but it works out really well. Yeah, that's the sunken ship, which doesn't work, and then that's the anchor, which actually does work. It looks decent, sort of. But yeah, like I said, I used a lot of fun stuff in this that I would never think to use ever. Those barrels I end up using at the bar area. The captain's wheel. I think the only place I've actually ever seen that is in the museum at Cats and Dogs. That's the only place that I would think to put it, except for in a ship or there. But yeah, I think so, it looks cool. I use these like dining out restaurant signs as the text on the ship. And yeah, here I'm still trying to find that centerpiece of the front. Yeah, like I said, if you do want to download this, I probably would renovate it a little bit and make it into a home. Like, you are able to access every part of this except for every individual shipping container, but I think it'd be fun to just kind of make them all, like, keep the coloring on it and then just delete all the interior walls, which will be difficult, like, not difficult, but time consuming. And make that into like bedrooms, like actual bedrooms or something like that. I think that'd be really fun. And if you do want to see me renovate this or anything else, like if you just find something cool in the gallery and like you can tag me in it somehow, or just put it down in the comments and maybe renovate it. I also briefly thought maybe like could turn this into the Titanic, because the Titanic also has that like red stripe at the bottom, I think. But that seems a bit difficult. I mean, I'm up for a challenge. So yeah, if you do want to see that, I can try. We'll see. I just don't think I would be able to make it into the Titanic that's actively sinking into the ocean. That was probably not going to happen. But yeah, this is where I raise the platforms and find that really nice red color on it. Or sorry, I said raise the platform, it's foundation. But yeah, and here I am just doing the interior for the first time. So on the top level of the interior, I do a mess hall, a kitchen. I have some like a bar and some like activities, I guess. And here's all the living quarters and the bathroom. The bathroom looks awesome. I think it's probably one of my favorite bathrooms I've done, just because it's so like, I don't know, like the wood and the metal that I use, and like what I do with the showers, which we'll see in a bit, which I'm pretty sure was someone else's idea. I did not come up with this. Like, I know it's someone else's idea, I just don't remember who it was. So if you do remember, credit is due to them. I just don't remember anymore. But yeah, I do this thing where I put, or that idea is that I put columns and I use the curtains to separate each like shower stall. And I think it would look really cool in a build like university or a gym, something like that, where it's kind of realistic that you don't have separate shower stalls in a way. Or like if you're building a prison, for some reason, if you're that type of simmer, then yeah, I think it would look kind of cool. But yeah, that's what I mean. It looks nice with the blue subway tile inside of the shower, and that wood and the rusted metal. But yeah, with the bedrooms, I end up using bunk beds for the very first time, which I didn't think would happen outside of maybe a kid's room. But I just filled it up with bunk beds, and then I ended up making it bit less rooms so that I could fit other furniture in there. And the only thing I fit into each room is just a dresser and some lights, which isn't actually like I decided on that like after I stopped recording. So you'll see it at the end, but I don't have footage of it. But I mean, pretty simple. And yeah, I had to stop and make dinner and eat and stuff, so that's why there's that weird jump cut. But like you saw in the kitchen, it's pretty simple, just like those dining out chef stations, some fridges, and yeah, I think it looks cool though. I like, again, I really like the way the metal and the wood go together, but yeah, it's a really simple kitchen, simple but big kitchen. Obviously, like with something like this, with the idea of having like 30 workers in here, you would need that space. And yeah, this command center is also, I say command center, I don't know what this is actually called, but the command center is also really nice. It has like the bookshelf, so you could potentially have a lot of skill building in this place. Like with the darts, you have obviously mirrors, so you can work on charisma. You have like bookcases, so like any skill that you want, and mixology, cooking. It's pretty versatile place, I think. But yeah, and then I tried to put those piping and like put it in the direction of where the bathrooms would go, so that it's kind of, you know, a little bit, I say realistic, but yeah, it's not realistic, but something like that. And then in the kitchen, I actually also put like a trash chute from the city living apartments, and it just goes nowhere, which I assume is just the ocean, which I think is kind of funny. But yeah, like you can see it there on the side of the wall. It just goes into the abyss. But yeah, this is pretty much all I've done with the build. I added some lights or some windows there, and that's pretty much it. I add a ladder at the side, and I found out that you can't, for some reason, open up the half wall. I think actually right now it's a fence. Yeah, but it kept glitching out, so I come out of the build, I come back in, I thought I would fix it, but it doesn't. It just, for some reason, stays there, so I replaced it with a half wall, and then I open up one of the sides and put a small, staircase just to make sure that the sim can't get up there. I'm pretty sure they can. Like I said, I didn't really test this out. I kind of just built it and loaded a sim here so I could go into first-person camera and stuff, but I think it ends up looking okay. It's potential hazard here, just having an open area just to step out and into, But yeah. And then that's where I put the ladder that goes all the way to the top of the, to that upper deck area. Yeah. And that's it for the actual build. To show you up here, try not to get hit by the door, but that's the control command center, whatever it's called, navigation room, excuse those bookcases, some cool pipes, and the mess hall area, the foosball, the bar, which I actually like a lot, and I don't show that direction somehow for some reason, and the kitchen, which I also like, just from, like I said, like the metal, and the metal looks so shiny and it looks really nice, I think. If you hate it, I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm just going down the stairs now once I get there. And there's that like llamas game, which I found out was just Jenga, which doesn't make sense, but hey, if you're stuck on the ship, you can't move, you gotta play some Jenga. Why not? It's an extra challenge. But yeah, the bathroom that I think looks nice, and some lockers there. There's like a schedule on the wall from I think Parenthood or something, and that's what the bedrooms end up looking like. They all look exactly the same. I didn't change anything on them. And yeah, that's the entire build. I hope you guys like it. If you want to see anything else, if you have a specific request, let me know. If you hate the sound of my voice, also let me know. Just be a bit nice about it. And yeah, thank you for watching. If you want to subscribe, and like the video if you liked it. Bye-bye.